Hey Stingrays, Ms. Mashek here. This is your 2022-2023 course selection video lesson. In this video, I'm going to introduce the counselors, discuss the scheduling process, and walk you through completing your course selection card. First up, this is Miss Felix, and she has students' last names A through C. Miss Thomas has students' last names D through H. Miss Kandetsky has students' last names I through MN. I'm Miss Mashek. I have students' last names MO through SH. And here's Miss McIntosh. She has students' last names SI through Z. Let's talk about the scheduling process. It all begins with this course selection process. So first, students gather information. You're watching this video. We have a number of videos that have been posted on our ACHS Counselors YouTube page, ranging in topics from AP and honors, dual enrollment, executive internship and those applications, senior leave, the seal of biliteracy, graduation requirements, promotional requirements, and many, many other videos. Some videos were done by teachers highlighting their classes or programs. So this is the time that students and families will gather all of the information about what is available to you. And then you'll consider your goals and opportunities. So what opportunities do you want to have exhausted by the time you've left high school? And really what makes sense with what are your goals for your post-secondary plans? Are you planning to go to college? Are you planning to go to the military or looking into a trade school? And so based on those goals, what types of courses make the most sense for you to take? Then you'll determine your eligibility and take any next steps. So if there's a course you want to take and it has some eligibility requirements, do you already meet those, or do you need to increase your GPA potentially or take some tests, SAT, ACT, PERT, in order to be eligible for those courses? Then you'll complete your course selection draft card. So these went home Monday, January 24th through your 8th period class and were given along with an ACHS course description guide newspaper, which has every course we're potentially going to be able to offer with all of their descriptions. And so as a family, after you've had an opportunity to gather information and deliberate, then you will actually complete the course selection draft card. The next step will be to participate in the classroom course selection led by ACHS counselors. So we'll be coming in towards the end of February to actually bring you the official course selection card and have you transcribe over what you drafted with your family together or onto your official card, which we will take and keep in our offices. And then if you need to make any edits, you may do so. So between the time that we come in and gather your official course selection cards and the end of the school year, if something were to change and you need to make an edit, your card will be in your counselor's office and you can stop by at any time and make whatever edits you need to make. Let's talk about the scheduling process. So I just talked about course selections. The next step is that requests are reviewed. So once we have your course selections, counselors will review student requests as compared to their remaining graduation requirements, as well as eligibility and readiness for courses requested. Requests are entered into the student's course request and focus. So you'd actually be able to see that once we've got those entered into your course request for next year. The next step is master scheduling guidelines. So district level master scheduling guidelines, as well as ACHS master scheduling guidelines, are developed in response to data analysis. This provides counselors with a uniform set of standards by which to schedule students. And then finally, the ACHS course master is developed. This is like the matrix or the puzzle piece specific to our school. So based on the need for numbers of sections as demonstrated by data and student requests, building constraints and logistical requirements, the framework for which courses will be offered during which class periods is developed. So we only have so many teachers, we only have so many classrooms. We're trying to respond to the number of requests. So how many students want an art class, how many students want digital infotech, et cetera, and so forth. And with all of those things, a course master, the matrix is developed. Which classes are offered, which periods. The scheduling timeline is in May and June, initial student schedules are created. Counselors make every effort to first and foremost schedule students into the classes that they requested. The following are reasons why a counselor may not be able to schedule a student into a class that they requested. They may not be eligible. So GPA, test scores, grade level, something makes them not eligible for the course. It could also be that master scheduling guidelines, both the district level and school level master scheduling guidelines, funnel students into a different course based on need as a response to grades, GPA, test data, etc. Maybe the course is no longer offered. So sometimes there are teacher changes over the summer, or there wasn't enough interest in a particular course. And so for some reason that course is no longer going to be offered. The course could be full. So we sort of totem schedule. We start with our rising seniors. They get scheduled first, and then we schedule rising juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. So often, once we get beyond those seniors and juniors, a lot of classes can potentially be full, and 9th and 10th graders are not able to get into them. But don't worry, as you move up through the totem pole, you hopefully will be able to get into those classes. And then finally, the course could conflict with core academic scheduling needs. So first and foremost, we're scheduling your core academics. And so when a counselor creates a schedule, those are the first classes that we plug in. Once those classes are in place and we make sure nothing is conflicting and everything fits on the schedule, wherever the holes are where your electives go. And so like I just mentioned with the course master, not every class can be offered every period. It's a puzzle piece of where things fit. And so what we'll do is we'll start filling in those holes based on your elective preferences. We want to give you your top choice, but potentially the top choice doesn't fit anywhere because it's only offered one class period or a couple class periods, and those conflict with what you have to have academically for your core academics. Then we'll go to your second choice and try to make that fit, and so on. In July and August, we received state testing results. And while the district testing data, we use that to anticipate student academic needs, sometimes state testing results require that we clean up student schedules to ensure that they're scheduled appropriately. Additionally, we balance and level out classes at this time to make sure that class sizes adhere to state class size mandates. And over the summer, there may be teacher changes, and that can impact things. Lastly, we take limited schedule change requests to address legitimate scheduling concerns or scheduling errors, like maybe you're missing in English, or you were put back in a class that you've already passed, or you're missing something else for graduation. These are all reasons why a student's final schedule may have changed from their initial schedule. So now let's talk about completing your course selection card. So you'll want to have the card handy, and it looks like this, and also have your course description guide handy. Don't forget to check out our other videos after this video, so don't fill it all out just now, but I'm walking you through how to do it. And then you'll notice at the bottom, we've created there's a little section for you to fill out any notes or anything you may want your counselor to know. So while we are creating your schedule, we have your course card in front of us, and we will see any notes that you may have made if you need to. So beginning with English, in the English category, you're going to make a selection for your English request. You're going to mark that either with an X or a check. We don't mind, whichever way you want to mark the line next to it. So you'll think to yourself, what class am I in now? If I'm a freshman, I'm in English 1. So then as a sophomore, I take English 2. And you'll see you have choices. Are you taking a standard or an honors level class? There's also AP classes. So the honors level, once we get to junior and senior year, what we offer instead is AP. If you're interested in dual enrollment, however, so that would be that ENC 1101, ENC 1102, which is English Composition 1 and English Composition 2, please mark that with a number 1. That's your first preference. And then what we would like for you to do is to mark the backup. So whether that's going to be AP Lit, English 4, or AP Lang and English 3, whichever, wherever you're at, junior or senior, please mark that as your backup choice just in case you're not eligible for dual enrollment. Math, similarly, you're just going to make your selection and mark that line right next to the title of the class with an X or a check mark. And you'll see to the left, all of those numbers, those are the Florida course numbers. Those just help us when we're entering that course request in. And then to the right-hand side, you'll see that all of these classes are worth 1 credit. So it either will say on your course card 1 or a half credit. Half credit classes are semester based, and 1 credit classes are classes you're in for the full year. So that's what those numbers are. So again, you'll think to yourself that are you going to take, are you in Algebra 1A right now? That means you would move into Algebra 1. Most students are going to move from Algebra 1 to Geometry, but the Math for College Readiness class is sort of a blend between Algebra and Geometry and could bridge some gaps that you might have in Algebra and help prepare you for Geometry. If you're in Geometry, you could either move to Algebra 2, or if you had not yet taken Math for College Readiness, you could take Math for College Readiness. From Algebra 2, this is where there's a lot of branching for your math options. You could go in the direction of probability and statistics or AP Stat. You could go to analysis of functions, or if you want to be able to get into those AP Calculus classes, then you're going to go into the pre-calculus direction. Please note that if you're interested in dual enrollment math, we're not able to offer that on campus. So make sure you check out the video about dual enrollment, which gives some information about off-campus FSCJ dual enrollment classes. If you're interested in taking a dual enrollment math, that would have to be your avenue. Science, in the science category, you're going to mark an X or a check, and you'll pick the next class that you need to take based on where you're at right now. Go check out that video about graduation requirements so you know exactly which sciences are required. And really for all of the classes, you know what's required, so that'll help you make some decisions. For social studies, our AP Honors 9th graders will start with AP Human Geography, and then they would take AP World History in 10th grade. Other 9th graders who are taking standard classes will take they'll start with World History, and then in your 10th grade year, you will take African American History. Juniors take U.S. History, and you've got the standard U.S. History, AP U.S. History, or dual enrollment American History, which is AMH 2010, AMH 2020. This course, if you're planning on taking dual enrollment, just like we said with English, please mark that as your first preference, but then let us know, would you go to the U.S. History Standard or AP U.S. History as your backup choice if you're not eligible for AMH? Seniors take Government and Economics, so you'll see there you have Standard Government Economics or AP to choose from, and these are both half credit, so one will be first semester and the other one will be second semester. As for HOPE is a graduation requirement. It's the state required PE. If you've not yet taken it, you go ahead and check or put an X on that line. If you are already in it or have taken it, you don't need to take it again. World language. So we offer Spanish. If you've not yet taken a world language, you need to get started. So typically if in 9th grade you weren't able to get into a world language, we need to start that by 10th grade. So sometimes we don't start that by junior year, but typically we've started that by 9th or 10th grade. If you're in Spanish 1, then you need to put Spanish 2 because you will need to complete 2 years of world language. Please check out our video about the Seal of Biliteracy, which is a seal that is given by the state. It also comes with a medallion that you'll get at graduation. But this is one of the easiest ways to get the Seal of Biliteracy is to take 4 years of the same world language. So if you're in Spanish 2 right now and you've been doing well, maintaining an A or a B in Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, then you may want to consider moving into Spanish 3 and then Spanish 4 in order to be working towards that Seal of Biliteracy. Additionally, if you're interested in going off to a highly selective college, the colleges that are more difficult to get into, they really want to see that you have taken 4 years of world language. They really want to see that you've taken the 5 core classes all 4 years, and that would be English, math, science, social studies, and world language. They want to see that you've taken one of those classes every single year. So you'll mark your selection there. AP Capstone, if you're in the AP Capstone program, 10th graders take the AP research class and 11th graders take AP seminar, so mark that accordingly. And then finally, for your elective courses, you're going to make 8 total elective selections. So not in each one of these categories, but across all of the categories here, you will pick 8 classes, and then you're going to rank them in order of preference. So number 1 being the class you really, really, really want, all the way down to 8 being out of the ones you've selected, this is your least preferred, but it's still a class you'd be willing to take. So you'll see that I have dual enrollment up here. That's because that SLS 1103 class is a college level elective worth 3 credit hours of college credit. For high school credit, it's worth 1. But you may want to take that class. So check out the video about senior leave to learn about some eligibility requirements for senior leave. And this class is open to 10th graders in their 2nd semester or for juniors and seniors. You must at least have, depending on grade level, a certain GPA. So you'll also want to check out the dual enrollment video to get some more information about that. So that could be one of your 8 selections. The only other thing I want to point out about electives is as far as the CTE courses go, if you're interested in doing that pathway, you need to start with the very first class. You can't take Digital Video Tech 2 if you haven't had Digital Video Tech 1. And what we really want to see is students are signing up for these courses because they are interested in pursuing that pathway and getting those industry certifications through those pathways and the exams that you'll take over the course of being in those classes. Instead of just taking it just because. We really want to see that students want to move through that progression. With that being said, you may not know for sure if this is something you want to pursue, but you do have an interest in it. I would still suggest that you sign up for one of these like entry-level classes to determine if you want to move forward, because sometimes we don't really know until we get in and we start actually learning about the material. And that's what those intro-level classes are all about. So fill this out. 8 total classes ranked in order of preference 1 through 8. If you're signing up for or interested in any classes that have a special application like executive internship, senior leave, leadership, please know that even though you may put it on this application that that's what you're interested in, we have to see that or this course selection, we have to see that your application went in and it was approved by the person who's sponsoring that, or that you meet the requirements for those opportunities. So please keep that in mind as well. Okay, so once you've drafted your course card, what's next? The next step will be to participate in your classroom course selection led by ACHS counselors, which will be taking place between February 28th and March 10th. We'll be coming in through your English classes and working with your English teacher to determine and schedule what day will be coming into your classroom time, to your class period. So you'll know because your teacher will post it or make that information available to you in your English class, but it'll be sometime between the window of the 28th and March 10th. And then again, you'll take any next steps you need to take. So if you wanted to do dual enrollment, but you need to take the PERT test, go ahead and get signed up for that. And we've got a video about signing up for the PERT. That information is also in the dual enrollment video and for senior leave as well. And then if you need to make any edits between the time that we collect your card and through the end of the school year. If you have questions, you can certainly reach out to your counselor. And thank you so much for watching this video.